On a quiet night in April 1912, a ship that many believed could never fail carried more than 2,000 people across the cold Atlantic. Most of them were filled with hope, most of them were dreaming of a new life. But among these passengers were a few whose stories would remain hidden, whispered only by those who were there. This is one of those stories. The night was peaceful. The sea lay still, almost glass-like, and the moonlight brushed the Titanic's decks with a soft glow. Passengers walked, talked, laughed, and warmed themselves with tea. Eleanor Hughes, a young schoolteacher, leaned on the railing and watched the horizon. She loved the quiet moments when she could hear only her thoughts and the distant hum of the ship's engines. Beside her stood Mr. Samuel Carter, a gentleman in his 50s, traveling alone after visiting his son in England. They met by chance. They talked like old friends. And though they came from different lives, the sea connected them in ways neither could explain. Just after midnight, the calmness shifted. A long, steady sound moved through the ship, soft at first, then clearer. Eleanor paused. She didn't know what it meant, but something felt different. Crew members began walking faster, whispering to one another, keeping their voices steady so no one would panic. Passengers slowly stepped outside, confused but calm. The air felt colder, and the stars above seemed unusually bright, as if they were quietly watching. When Eleanor reached the boat deck, she found families gathering and crew members guiding people gently. Mr. Carter stood beside her. His hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from the cold wind. A crewman looked at them kindly and said, "Please, stay close. We will guide you." Eleanor was shown toward one of the lifeboats. The boat was small compared to the great ship, but it was steady. People stepped in slowly. No pushing. No shouting. Just quiet concern for one another. Mr. Carter stepped back. "You go," he said softly. "They need room." Eleanor refused to leave him. "We stay together," she whispered. The crewman nodded and helped them both into the lifeboat. The lifeboat lowered gently toward the water. Eleanor held Samuel's arm as the cold breeze brushed their faces. Around them, other boats floated quietly, their lanterns glowing like tiny stars on the dark sea. In the distance, the Titanic still stood tall, her lights shining with the same pride she carried when leaving port. No one in Eleanor's boat spoke for a long time. The sea was calm, but their hearts were full of questions, full of silent prayers, full of hope that help would come soon. Samuel broke the silence. "Eleanor, if we make it home, promise me something." "What?" she asked gently. "Tell this story. Tell it so people remember the kindness you saw tonight, the quiet bravery, the way strangers cared for one another." She nodded. "I will." Hours passed. The night slowly faded, and a pale golden light began to rise from the edge of the world. Soon, a ship appeared, a rescue ship, the Carpathia. Soft cries of relief spread from boat to boat. As the Carpathia drew closer, crew members lowered ropes and blankets. Eleanor and Samuel were lifted aboard. The warmth of the ship felt like a miracle. People shared tea, coats, and comforting words. Though they had come from great loss, they found strength in one another. Samuel sat beside Eleanor as the sun climbed higher. "You kept your promise," he said softly. "You stayed with me. And I will keep the other promise too," she replied. This story will never be forgotten. Today, more than a century later, the Titanic story is known around the world. But the quiet moments, the small acts of courage, and the voices of everyday people remain less told. These survivors carried not just memories, but lessons of unity, calm courage, and the strength that rises when people care for one another. And now, their story continues through you.